friends, and welcome back to my crafty space. My name is Crystal, and in today's video, I am going to be putting together some story ideas in a story planning process using the November Stories by the Month kit from Ali Edwards for 2021. This kit came with the typical 3x4 cards, that's over here, 4x6 cards, the 3x4 stamp set, a chipboard set in these wonky circles that are really fun, a set of tiny phrase stickers, and then 5 of these really, really pretty fall colored rainbows. Some of them have sentiments on them and some of them are just plain. The sentiments say November Stories, loving all of this, and daily gratitude. I'm quickly going to go through the cards here so you can get an idea of what came in this kit as well. We have a marketing card, or the quote card here that says gratitude is always a good idea, always. So very, very, very thankful. Last year versus this year, here are the details. Loving November, loving these things right now. And then an ampersand patterned background. For the 3x4 cards, we have gratitude, goodness with 1 through 5. All of these things, so thankful. November looks like this. Stories from around the table, all of the things happening here, happening right here. November delights, give thanks for all the pieces of our lives. And then this pattern that's got 9 different really pretty trees, missing you so very much. So what I'm going to do is put together 3 to 4 stories with this collection of supplies, as well as setting a little bit aside to use in a week of project life. And then once I've got that done, we will call this process completed. I'm going to put you on fast forward while I put together all the stories and talk you through my process and my train of thought. And then once I've got that done, we will slow down and close out for today. So let's go ahead and dive right in. All right, so getting started with the story planning for today, first I'm going to go ahead and go through all of those journaling cards and pull aside anything that says November in it. I will put all of that into a pile to use for my week of project life, just because we're not quite to November yet, and I don't have any older years that I'm working on for project life, so it just makes sense to set it aside and wait for November to get here. Then I'm going to take the cards that I have left over and see what kinds of stories are sparked by the different sentiments or colors or icons. All of those different things can help me to come up with what ideas or what stories I want to tell with the product. I will mention also that this view is a little bit different than the intro there, and that's because I actually completed this process live over on my Patreon. I had a little bit of time left over after I completed one of my October daily spreads, so I figured why not just pull this out and get this done as well. So that's why this one looks a little different, and the shadows are all there because it was earlier in the day, so you know, lots of sun outside, which is awesome, but I'm not used to it. I need to get some blinds for my window so I can get the lighting down a little bit better. So I just wanted to mention that in case you're wondering why this looks a little bit different than the intro does or than the outro is going to look as well. So continuing on, you can see in the upper right-hand corner there, I have a pile of product where the card says give thanks. There's a chipboard that says thankful for all of this. There is a little rainbow with the sentiment that says daily gratitude, and then also the ampersand patterned card. What I'm thinking of doing with that is creating a mini album that is photoless, so no photos in the album, but that's just literally a list of daily gratitudes. So I'm thinking about making my own 3x4 cards that are stamped 1 through 30 for the month of November, and then every night just writing down one thing I'm grateful for that day. Not worrying about making it pretty, not worrying about making sure to photograph anything, just jotting something down before I go to bed to help with the practice of daily gratitude. So that's kind of what I'm thinking there. I really like the card that says so very, 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 very thankful. And I'm thinking about pairing that with the 3x4 card that has a bunch of trees on it. And then also the gratitude goodness card. I feel like those could be a really good match or a really good collection of products to tell another gratitude story, but perhaps in my personal pocket page notebook, which is a traveler's notebook sized album that has a pocket in between the white pages. So that I'm liking the idea of. I have another set of products that I have placed off screen where it says last year versus this year. I've added a couple chipboard sentiments, one that's got a pumpkin on it and one that just says love this, and I forget what the last one is. But those to me had some Halloween looking colors to them. So I'm thinking about doing some photos or pulling some photos from Halloween last year versus Halloween this year and telling the differences or the different pieces of our life now versus then, and doing that in possibly a larger format. And thinking about it outside of actually planning this, another thing I might do with that, we took family photos last October just in our backyard. My sister-in-law, brother-in-law came over and we did family photos for each other. And that could be another really great use. Like maybe I need to invite them over to my house and say, hey, let's do that family photo session again this year. And then using the last year photo and this year photo to tell the same story, like what pieces of life are different or the same as they were last year. Now that I've got my piles made, and I have a couple more here that we'll talk about as I get into the sketching part of this, the next thing I'm going to do is figure out what size to tell all of these stories in. My project life is a 9x12, so I'm just going to pull out a 9x12 page here. These templates I do offer as a free download. I have them linked in pretty much every post or every video on my channel. So if you can't find them though, let me know, because it's always possible I forgot to put it on there. But anyways, those are available for free as a download. The 9x12 is going to be Project Life. I just showed you everything that went into the envelope, and we're going to package that up and put it away. Now we're going to sketch out, which actually I'm not even going to sketch this. I'm just going to write down a whole bunch of notes to myself on what I want to do here. So what I'm thinking is taking the ampersand card, cutting it in half, putting a piece of vellum over the middle, and then the rainbow that says Daily Gratitude on top. So that could be my cover. Then I could use the sentiments on the inside covers. The one that says Give Thanks, I think could be a really great reason why type of card. And then filling in the rest with the 1 through 30 and ending it with, it says All of These Things, I think is the card I put in there as my ending inside cover page. Here is where I'm working on the pocket page notebook. So what I want to do with this is take the card that says so very, 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 very thankful and fussy cut all of that out, add it to a piece of transparency or a piece of vellum, something that has a transparent feel to it, and then stitch it on top and add it into the pocket. So that could be the interactive piece. Then on one side, I'm thinking of doing 5 photos. So 2 that are 1 that is horizontal and all of the rest of them being vertical. And then on the opposite side to find a pattern paper, maybe a couple pattern papers that I can use to back up the gratitude goodness card. And then I can fill that card out with 5 things I am grateful for. And then those 5 things could correlate to the 5 different pictures on the left-hand side. The funny thing is I actually forgot that I had a plan for these cards already that I put together before we moved back in August. So when I go to create my first project, I will kind of sort of do the same thing with the pocket page notebook, but change it up just slightly. So you'll see how that turns out here after this planning process. It's in a separate video from this one. So if you're curious, you can go check that out. For the last year versus this year, I want to do this in a 12x12 format. The right side half of it, so is 6x12, I'm going to add the title last year versus this year, put some pattern paper underneath that, and then kind of repeat that at the bottom where I've got a white space where I can add the 3 chipboard, and then a little bit of pattern paper on top of that. In between those sections, I will add the letter L and T, so L, T, L, T, L, T for last year, this year, last year, this year, last year, this year, and then add journaling about those different time periods and maybe things that are either the same or different, kind of an idea. And then the left-hand side, I'm just going to add 2 large photos, either in costumes or family photos. You know, time will tell. We'll see what happens. For this last story, I wanted to utilize the chipboard that says imperfect but still awesome. I think that's what it says. I love that sentiment. I love looking for the things in our life that we are thankful for, that we love about our life, but that aren't perfect. So I thought what I could do is take the stamp set that says the same thing, imperfect and awesome, use that to stamp a pattern on the left-hand side, add a title to the top of the page, possibly using the Laura Wanzik, Allie Edwards buildable stamps, and journaling, and put a photo at the bottom. All right, friends, well, that is going to be all of my stories for today.
All right, friends, that completes my story planning process. Out of this November Stories by the Month kit, I was able to plan out 4 different stories to tell in various sizes, as well as 1 week of Project Life, which will go into my 9x12 Project Life album. I hope that you enjoyed seeing all of these ideas come together. If you did, I would love a thumbs up on this video down below, and make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already so you can catch all of my future crafty videos. I am going to be back throughout the month with some of these stories as I start to put them together. So keep your eye out for those. And until then, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye, friends.